everybody, come on in. Yes, we are still alive up here in the shoe swap. It has been a very sad, long, hot, dry summer and devastating for some. My neighbors. So Rosemary was going to make a trip here today, but the road between Kamloops, which is just about an hour and 15 minutes drive from here, and our place, the highway, is still closed about, so it's not safe for her to come because a fire actually crossed the highway. It's Sorrento, and Sorrento is, about a 15-minute drive, 20-minute drive from here. And people that in the beginning of the fire filmed many videos with fires on both sides of the highway, just terrible. The smoke has been putrid, just extremely bad for days and days. And last night we did get some thunder and sheet lightning, and Jack says, thank goodness sheet lightning doesn't start fires, so I pray it doesn't. And they're still working on putting these fires. There's many people out of their homes, and so much happening all over the world. And some people, say desperate things and blame, and really this is a time to be thankful for all those people, just people going out and helping others. There's a lot of that happening. Having to fight fires when the air is already unhealthy, wearing a ton of gear. It's just unimaginable, and there's floods and there's other things, and why is this coming on everybody? I try to understand many things, and I am aware of all that goes on, like in the world. I keep my eyes open, and sometimes when something awful happens, a death in the family or something, and even, young children, people suffering things, unexplained circumstances, people say, well, how can God let this happen? Well, God sent Jesus to sacrifice for us, and he made the ultimate sacrifice, and he came back. And we don't know what's on the other side. We don't know what after death is happening. All I know, when I had Rosemary, I had a near-death experience. I died having her. They were wheeling me out, and I'm not going into the whole story, but I was in a little outpost hospital on the northern tip of Vancouver Island, and I saw myself laying on the table, and they were rolling me out on a tin trolley, and they thought I was dead, and there was people looking in. I could see so much. I had no pain. I was thinking of my loved ones, and they were surprised when I came back, and so I think that no pain is something to think about, because, a lot of things we bring on ourselves in this world, it's not caused by somebody else. Many of things, but I can't go into this seriously, but I do try to keep a positive and thoughtful outlook on everything that's happening, and you have to sort of go with the flow when it's happening like this, Maggie. So anyway, I finished my painting, and I was at the thrift store, and I saw this frame, and I thought, oh, it'll be perfect. Now, in the main part of the thrift store, the things are pretty cheap, but in the boutique, it's a little bit more, but not a lot. So anyway, it had a beautiful picture in it. You're not going to believe this. So anyway, it had a painting in it done by a great painter. And I didn't care what the painting was, but it was done in the 70s by Robert Bateman. This is the picture that was in it. And it's a print, and it is signed. It is signed, and it is quite faded, so wherever they had it hanging, it did get quite faded. I took a Robert Bateman painting out of this frame, rolled it up, because I know he's a great painter. I appreciate his paintings. I have some of his paintings, but it's a print, and I wanted to frame my picture, and I can't afford to go down to the picture place and pay for a frame, beautiful wood. This is solid wood, and the backing material. I don't know what they call that. And this one, this final one, my picture was a little bit smaller, so I had one that I had to paint because it was dirty. So this one I added to the frame. So for $30 at the boutique, I bought this Robert Bateman painting in the frame. I've taken out the Robert Bateman painting. Maggie? No, no, no. I've taken out the Robert Bateman painting and put in my bear. And then there's a little envelope on the back of the painting where you can put a card. And I want to name my painting, and I've Granny Franny sent me some cards as a surprise one time, and one of our subscribers, and I thought, oh, I'm going to paint one to match the picture a bit, and I have started it. And then I want to put the title of the painting on. And I got a few words or a few ideas, and maybe some of you can help me. I want to title my painting, not sure what, but here's some ideas, like maybe it'll help feed you, or maybe you'll like one, I don't know. This is going to be kind of a visit, as if you came to me, what we might be talking about as we're sitting around the table. And we're going to go around to visit all the orchids and talk about a few of them. And Mr. Everything, we're sort of going to cover everything, so I should talk quick. So anyway, here's the ideas. Escaping pursuit? I don't know. I kind of like the salmon on the fish run, nature's jewels struggle to survive. And I see Jack put one here, and I kind of like it. Bearing the run. I kind of like that. That's really different. Now, have you got an idea to help me out to name my picture? Have no idea, as you know, we're not a minimalist. We have a full house where I'm going to hang it. But anyway, I'm not a painter that wants it to look like a photograph. In me isn't that. I'm not a detail-orientated person. I'm not meticulous, or I'm like, jump in and go with it and get finished, you know. So anyway, what I wanted was color and movement. I wanted to show the strength of the fish and the strength of the bear and what life is like out there on the water. So that's what I did. That one's done. And we're going to move on, and I'm going to move the camera over to this other window. Hopefully this works. Good. So, I know sometimes when I get close to a window, the light coming in affects how dark or light my picture is, but okay. Now, yeah, I better sit down. Have a seat at this table. Okay, so what happened is I had to bring the orchids in. It was so stinky and smoky outside and very bad for your health. And I know orchids do not like gas smells from stove. We have a gas stove. They've lived with that. Lots of things. They don't like paint smells but this smell from this smoke has been hanging in. The heat they were putting out with over 100 degrees every day outside on the patio, and very dry air. Just because it's hot here, the humidity has been very dry, especially in the house, 20s and 30s. So if I get 40, I'm happy. So I had a large humidifier that we got at a sale out at a store downtown. We got for $10. We had that running. It did help in that corner. It was a big one, and I have showed it in some videos, and it did throw a lot of humidity. So that did help them while they were out there. I've had misting bowls and other things, but it's a big room out there, so that actually did help save me. And I'm not going out there today, but I have showed it in some patio videos just lately. So I had to bring them all in. Jack stood here and opened and closed the door because we didn't want the smoke coming in because it was very smoky, because the screens are all open on the patio, and brought them all in, and it was a lot of work. It took me all day before I had all the orchids in place and moved from there, and they were covered with, let me get the kind of ash. Just a minute, I'm going to show you. This is how crazy I am. Even if you were to come and visit me, you never know what I'm doing or what I'm going to say. And I'm not ever plan anything. This is some of the ash. We are over a half an hour from those fires. This is a leaf, and this is like ash that traveled that far in the air. This looked like bear hair, but I hope not. I hope it was seaweed off a tree or something. So that's the big ash, but there's little white ash over all the orchids, so I wiped their leaves as best I could and find them a spot. There's one window I don't have a curtain that I usually keep them out all winter. But if the sun ever comes out, and the only good thing is about the smoke is the smoke stops the sun from being as strong. So anyway, I got these ones in this window, and I've moved some things around. I used to have my fern, my spider plant. It could not stand this. It's out on the patio because it was dying. I don't know if it absorbed all the smoke to save us, and then that was it. But anyway, I have a lot of little green plants, but I haven't been able to go out and plant them in something because I didn't want to be out there. Even with a mask, I go out and I fill the bird baths and water the lemon and orange tree in the greenhouse, and everything else we're just leaving because people are getting short of water. The lake is short of water, so we're only doing the necessities all round. So this window here, I have my bowl humidifiers, which I really like, and they have been good. And surprisingly, surprisingly, you know, for what they've been through, they are doing really well. And the ones in the glass, they never get direct sun. But they're doing really well. And this one in the glass has another, that's a new leaf. And it has a new leaf coming again. So some of them are on their second leaf. Even though, and the Monet orchid, and this is many years old that Jack put this in this triple sewer pot. It's doing really well too, and because it's small, it dries quicker. But you know, they're surprising me how well they've stood up. The spider plant did not. I'm hoping I get the babies to grow. So now we're going to take off to the other window. Okay. Now over here, see, I've been making changes. So maybe I'll take this off and just show you what I've done. So here I have my elephant. I've had him for years. I've got him here with my bamboo plant that I actually got a necklace on. If you've watched the video for years, a silver necklace, the tree of life was wrapped around this when I got it as a little dying plant free at a garage sale. So it's doing well. And this is the one I just repotted. It has a nice new leaf coming in the glass. This is the last one I did. So they didn't get their second watering really this week, and watering day is tomorrow. So I moved my terrarium from the counter to here because I found, even though we had a plug-in light, they weren't doing that well, and they seem to be doing better here with just natural north light. And when I need it, I can still, like for winter, I can still put on the light. And then I keep a mister close, and I just mist them like this. There we go. So we did move that there and clean it up a bit. This was a find at the thrift store. And you see what he's got in his hand? Jack did that because there was something broken off his hand. And he found this. It was a belly button earring or something. But it's a little dragon. So he got a little dragon. Oh, he has a sense of humor. Up here, Alphinia is still blooming. She keeps giving me one flower after another. So, and here I just have this mister, which I use all the time. It's just a waterfall. And this mister here, I'll keep going as this type. Works really well for this smaller window. I have to get a new mister for it. So that's what's happening there. And I did show a close-up here of leaves, new leaves coming. This one's losing one and getting one. And this one. You can still see bits of the ash. It was white. Lots of good growth coming on this one. And up here we have the Maltitacea, and here. So things are doing good here. So things have moved a bit, and we'll take a walk over here. So I have had to move things, so that's why it took so long when I brought the orchids in. This is where my spider plant was, so I had to move this over there. Okay, so now we're at this window, and this is very interesting what's happening. I'm just going to slide this back in. Okay, I don't want it to lose it. So see how that worked. Okay, so this just amazes me. So as you know, I got this orchid on April 10th. It was in bloom just as it is right now. Not one flower is fading. This was in full bloom April 10th. I'm shocked. And what I'm going to do, I'll explain in a minute. You'll be surprised. So this is a new leaf. And there's another new leaf coming. This one isn't even finished growing. And I've repotted it twice. I'm going to give you a close-up here of the roots. First I had it in another pot. And now it's in this one. It's doing good. And look at the growth on the ends of these roots. They seem to like this. And the reason I did put the holes on those is because I don't want the whole weight to have to turn the plant to drain water out. So if there's a hole, I only have to turn it halfway. I don't have to dump the plant upside down or start maneuvering it around. But this is what I'm going to do. I got this orchid from Rona. It came in bark. It was the only orchid I ever got that came in bark. All the rest have come in moss. And it was grown in Canada. And I went back and watched the April 10th video again. And it came from Magnifica, Canada. I'm going to go online. I'm going to see if I can write them. Send them a picture of this or even this video. Because I am, for an orchid to be in full bloom, how long from that first flower till you got full bloom? At least a couple months. And so that would put this to, I got it April 10th. That would be February 10th. And that's being lenient. February to March to April to May to June to July to August, and we're headed into September. 7 months, no sign of an orchid dropping. I've repotted it twice. What with the don't repot when they're in bloom, the flowers will fall. Those are real. I had to even touch them. They are real. It's just, I am surprised. I am going to let you know what I find out. I want to tell them about this orchid. Send them a picture of it and see what happens. See what they say. So that is something new that's going on here. And then my catasetum, also, I'm going to get it. Let me get a better hold for a minute here. There. So my catasetum, you can see the two bulbs. The new bulb and the one from last year. The new one is growing in size, and it has just been doing amazing. Now, it hasn't been getting a lot of light lately, and I have heard that if they get too much light, you might have female flowers. But we want male flowers because they're prettier. Have I got that right? I've never grown one of these before, and this is After Dark Baker's Burgundy Smile. From Roehampton Orchids, a gift from Rosemary for Mother's Day. So let's put that back. Okay. So those are two surprises. And here's another nice spike coming. This is one I got from Georgia when she sent 3 orchids. It's doing beautiful. This is Tying Shin Blue Jay. It's got a nice spike. This is through, against all odds, how are these plants doing? Now, this is the one I put in the little vase. You can see the little roots. So, I mean, it was just put in here, and this is dry. It gets watered tomorrow. So, still looking good, and I haven't missed it. I usually miss every day, but things have been crazy. And I have a dentist appointment today, so I did want to let you guys know how things are going. Now, I'm going to take the camera off again and show you what is going on here. I'm telling you, orchids are very hardy, that's for sure. So, you get to visit everywhere today. Okay, look at this is my traffic cone, an older one I did a long time ago. And the orchid, there's lots of leaves. I'm not going to count them for sure, but there's lots of leaves on it. And good root growth. And then this is the one I left the spike on because I thought, well, it's got lots of leaves, it's healthy, and maybe I'll see what happens if I leave the spike. It's got one nice new leaf, this is new this summer, and another one coming. And besides all that, on the spike, we have a spike coming. And this was outside in all the heat, and it's still growing. To me, this is just amazing, you know. So here for misters, I really like these. People are often asking, you know, I have different things and I've played with different things. This one here is one of the best ones I have. Buy on air. It throws a nice amount, holds a lot of water, easy to clean, easy to look after. I really like that, and I have my two decorative ones, which I'm very happy with, garage sale fine. And so a quick view of these, they're doing really well. So now into the other window. Okay, I should turn a light on here. If I can. There we go. So, my Christmas cactus that I didn't get a lot of blooms on this year. And money plant's going crazy. It's got lots of pops. I'm thinking I should trim the top. I don't know. Never had one of these before, but it's growing too tall. And I don't know, should I take the top off? And the prayer plant was getting dry leaves, and Jack said, well, move it back. And ever since we moved it further from the window, they've been coming in very healthy, so seem to have made that happy. He is right about a lot of things. And ferns are not doing really good in this weather and this heat, but it's still alive. So, and there's still a bit of ash here on these that had fallen. And this basket, I mean, this is a dry lifestyle because they have lots of air and there's a lot in one thing and it's just bark, but they've all got new leaves. This one got 2 this year, so it's doing well. And here, I mean, it's amazing how they survived, but I did have to bring them in. And this is another good one. And this one is it has a little spout that I can turn and face whatever direction I want. So really, if I was going to get one, I would get this type or the one I just showed you in the kitchen. They're tidy, they hold a lot of humidity, they're big containers, and they do a good job. And the reason I had a little trouble making room for my orchids is because this window has no curtain on the glass. And so it is just too hot, usually when there's no smoke, for to put the orchids right in the window. I can pull the curtain down that's on the outside of the window and keep these ones all safe. But until later in the year, I can't actually put them in the window. So the cactuses are doing good. So, okay, so I'll show you the smoke, which is a lot better today than it's been because we had a bit of a wind last night and we haven't been able to see the mountains for days or the lake. So we're supposed to get the rain, I think it was Hillary storm or something, rain coming up from the States, and I hope we get tons of rain. So this is the least smoke we've had in a while. So thanks for joining me, and glad to have you visit. And give me a thumbs up and help everybody to learn about orchids. Yay! Bye for now.